So I'm on to issue 4 of this WildC.A.T.S mini series. It's called I not never mentioned the name. Better Living Through Violence. I need to remember that. But I think this video will be short. There's not a lot to talk about. I have to come to the realization that this is like a completely new thing, so I can no longer criticize that different characters don't know each other or this character didn't do that in the original Wildstorm universe, because I guess it is what it is. But yeah, this issue, what would I say about this issue? It's kind of still just a lot of stuff, like just a lot of characters. Like, you know, there's a really cool kind of action scene reminiscent of, I don't know, like Metal Gear Solid or something, where Grifter is trapped in this kind of Eastern European war-torn country and he's trying to get out, and like Zealot's trying to get Marlowe to, you know, extract them, but I don't think really there's a way to, they can't track him down or something like that. But like there is some really cool stuff. Like this is kind of like old school Grifter, where he's just kind of being resourceful and clever. Like that's like a really nice scene there. Like he gets up on the tank. I think he puts some kind of explosive in there, runs off, shoots, and then you can see here the tank blows up. Like, so that's really cool. Then, you know, there's a bit of jumping around. This other team that Marlowe set up, they're kind of all in front of the media, and I think they're taking the credit for what the kind of 3 or 4 undercover Wildcats are doing. Like some of the stuff I just don't know where they're going with. Like Mr. Majestic here is saying that he's he's also a Kryptonian, you know, because they're in the DC world now. Like, and then you can see Fairchild saying he's gonna be get in trouble for saying that. I don't know what the point of this is, like, you know, I don't know if there's like some grand plan here, like, but it's just kind of a lot of these things where I consider myself just like this new reader, and there's in this series there's just way too much information, like too many characters, I think this could have been written way more organically and like slowly introduce characters and like let each character flourish a little bit, you know, let the reader get their handle on 1 or 2 characters, then move on, bring another character in. Like, because there is a scene here where they bring in Warblade for the first time, and Warblade was like his original character. He was like an artist, so they're obviously leaning into that in this series. I'll come to that in a second, but like that's what I think. Just a bit, it's a bit too much all at once is what it feels like. And if they're trying to appeal to new readers, it should be a bit slower, I think. Like, you know, you should be treating the reader like they're kind of, they know nothing, even though I do know a lot about this particular team of superheroes. But yeah, Grifter kind of I'll come back to Grifter because there's another weird scene here where they walk in on Ladytron, and she's having a threesome with like these two of these bodyguard guys. I keep thinking this is Spartan, but I don't think it is. They've mentioned the name. It's not him. Like it's someone else. Like, but I don't know what the point of this is. Is it meant to be just like a funny scene or what? Like I don't. It's just, what's the point? They could have used this page for something else maybe, or these 2 pages. But I think essentially they're trying to appeal to Ladytron to get Grifter out of there, and I think it does work in the end. But yeah, essentially probably the best part of it is just Grifter battling his way through and trying to find his way out, because it's much easier to focus on, and he's kind of the only character who they've really tried to flesh out in any way so far, I think. Like, you know, with his kind of visions of his brother, and I think in the last issue someone was saying how it was his fault that his brother died and stuff. Like, so I think a reader needs that. Like, you need some kind of investment rather than just fucking throwing loads of characters in there. You know, have a look at this guy, have a look at that girl, they've got these powers, and it's just like bang 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 bang. It's too much. Like, but yeah, and like here we go, we've got another character here. I don't know who that is, but Grifter's, I think she's basically there to kill him, and he's just like, fuck this, I'm gonna go out with a bang. So he's like jumping around, but you know, he doesn't last very long, and this is where they introduce Warblade. And I think this is probably a better way to bring characters in, like one at a time maybe, and just a few pages focusing on them. Like, he comes in, and obviously there's no kind of power reveal, but they might do that in the next issue. But regardless, I don't know, I think this is a better way of doing it. And then obviously we just go back to I guess the cliffhanger in this issue, where you find out that they managed to extract Grifter out, and he's dead. So I had a few comments on the last video, which was great, and someone was mentioned, like, what's his power? And I in my head, I always thought he kind of had some kind of latent psychic ability that he couldn't really use. It was kind of back to do with like Team 6 or Team 7 and the gen factor, but it's like something he couldn't really use. But like when I went to his wiki, like, this is how convoluted it is. Like, if you go to his powers and abilities, it's like if he's in the Wildstorm universe, he's got these powers. If he's in the Wildstorm universe, he's got those powers. And if he's in the New 52, he's got these powers. So they've kind of broken it all up. So I'm not sure which one they're pulling from, or is it from them all. But in this, I just kind of browsed through the Wildstorm one, the old one, and he does have a healing factor. So he's kind of, I mentioned in the last video that he's not like a Wolverine type character, but I guess they kind of have bootstrap that onto him as well, so he has a healing factor also. But yeah, look, I'll leave it at that. Not much more else to say, and yeah, we'll go on to the next one tomorrow.